Hello, 22 Tony here with my latest discussion on collecting vintage and antique ammunition. Today I want to focus a little bit on obtaining this ammunition. We've talked about it a little bit on some of my previous videos, but I didn't go into a lot of detail. Now the question is, where are we going to find antique ammo? Well, for many of you, your first thought may be to go onto the internet, and that's probably a good place to start. There are sites like Gunbroker that do sell vintage and antique ammo. The only problem with buying ammo over the internet is that in most cases you have to have it shipped. Well, shipping ammo has its challenges. Federal regulations prohibit shipping ammo through the first-class mail. So it is required to go ground service like UPS or FedEx Ground. The problem with that is to ship a single box of 22, it weighs a few ounces. Rather than shipping first-class mail, UPS would charge $10 to $15 or maybe even a little more to ship this one box ground. So to buy one box of 22, you have to calculate that into the total price, and for an inexpensive box, it's cost prohibitive to ship it. So you have to come up with ways around that. One way is to purchase multiple boxes at a time. If you split that $15 between 10 or 12 boxes, well then it brings the price down a little bit. Now there are other options though to purchasing your ammunition. Obviously gun shows generally have a few dealers that will have some older ammunition around, sometimes just because they got stuck with it, and other ones that specialize in ammunition. So that's certainly an option. Then there's some other options available though. Certainly garage sales occasionally will have ammunition, auctions and estate sales will have ammunition from time to time. But I try to think outside the box a little bit. And that's why today we're at Morningstar Marketplace. We're actually in the Antiques Gallery at Morningstar Marketplace. This is in Thomasville, Pennsylvania. As you can see, the Antiques Gallery is a co-op of antiques dealers that sell a variety of items, everything from china and glass. They have pottery and carnival glass. There's dealers that specialize in books and military items. There's even antique fishing lures and vintage hunting and hunting supplies and outdoor supplies. So you might not think of going to an antique shop to get your vintage ammo, but once in a while you might get lucky. Again, here at the Antiques Gallery, I noticed quite a few nice old boxes. Now here's a Remington, nothing special, just regular old Remington, but this is a pre-barcode box, so you're looking at a 35-year-old box, and they've got it retailed at $5. It's hard to find current ammunition at $5 a box today, and I'm actually surprised these are here. Chances are pretty good somebody will buy those with the intention of shooting them. They had, and this one really surprises me, a box of Peter's duck box, again pre-barcode, and they got a retail price on that of $5. So it's probably not uncommon to see common boxes like these in a shop like Morningstar, but there's also some a little bit less common items. I found this box of Smith & Wesson 22 long rifle. Most of you have probably never seen one of these before. We've got Federal High Powers and Mohawks. We've got some 32 Smith & Wesson here. But let's say you're not interested in collecting boxes. There are a lot of other forms of ammunition that you can collect as well. We have many people that like to collect cartridges. And I noticed here they actually have individual cartridges. And a lot of different varieties here. I just glanced through real quick, and there's some rifle, there's some handgun, a few oddball cartridges here. So for a cartridge collector at $1.50 a cartridge, you might find something here you're interested in. Okay, and again, here's just a few examples of some of the cartridges that are available. It looks like a 32 Smith & Wesson. Rifle cartridges, like I said. A few different types of cartridges here. Also, I see right in the front here, we've got some 32 Rimfires. those are getting really hard to find. I know there are collectors that really go after those old Rimfire cartridges. They have paper shotgun shells. Again, I don't collect shotgun shells, but I know there are a lot of collectors out there for them. They've got these marked at $1 a piece, so for a beginner collector just to pick up a couple of shells, you know, there's not a lot of money involved, but they're not overly rare either. Now, the one thing I did see here that's I think is very interesting, they have kind of a starter kit for somebody who wants to collect cartridges but doesn't know where to start. They have a pack here for $24.95 of, looks like, about 11 different cartridges, everything from 22 Jet, how often do you see 22 Jet, up to 4065. They've got 375 H&H, there's some 7x57, there's 257 Roberts. So some of these, 303 British, that's certainly not rare. Or actually it's a 303 Savage, but still not super rare, but 3040 Craig. Again, these are available, but to have them all at one spot for somebody who wants to start collecting, you know, you got a nice collection there in the making. I did see a few oddball things here. There's a military cartridge that has been turned into a lighter. So that's the kind of thing you might find in an antique shop that you wouldn't necessarily find in a gun show. They also have some old primers here. So depending on what your interest in collecting are, there's a little bit of something for everybody here. I just, as we were talking, noticed some old brick boxes. Now these are empty, but that's sterling, made for Kmart, by Squires Bingen Manufacturing, made in the Philippines for SS, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Krieg and Company, Troy, Michigan. That is Kmart. So that's something you don't see every day. They have a brass cleaning rod for those of you that collect hunting items but not the ammunition. So again, few different types of things here, and this is pretty interesting. I noticed this Winchester lead air rifle shot. Now that's an empty container, but for a couple dollars, you know, you have something you just don't see every day. So again, today's discussion was more or less just give you some ideas, maybe open up your mind a little bit and try to think outside the box and think of other ways of finding ammunition. You might get lucky at a garage sale, you certainly might get lucky at a local auction, but don't forget your local antique dealers. Thrift stores may end up having some of this from time to time. You might find something at swap meets or you know, different types of shops around town. You might find that somebody came in with some old boxes and rather than throw them out, shopkeeper might just put them out for sale. Well, again, I was just hoping to give you something to think about today. This is just a brief discussion. There's certainly a whole lot more to talk about on where and how to collect antique ammo, but I wanted to give you a few more ideas today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I do want to thank you for watching.